I like asking you guys questions because I know that this is by far the sharpest community right here on YouTube. And that's not an exaggeration. There are times when I check the comments and I realize, yeah, this person actually has a very good point. And I usually talk about it in future videos. In fact, sometimes I make entire videos based on one or two comments that I might have seen, which is why I'm asking you guys a very hypothetical, would you ever agree to having your baby, and I'm talking about infants here, vaccinated? Would you ever have your baby vaccinated? And not just flu shots or necessary vaccines for newborns. I'm talking about the C19 vaccine. Now, of course, you're probably wondering why I'm asking you this. Well, as it turns out, the FDA and the CDC recently approved vaccines for kids as young as 6 months old. And I also have an update as to how much we can expect to pay for a single jab. And I'm already telling you right now, prepare your wallets, folks. The data that I'm going to provide you guys with today is not to discourage, nor is it to encourage you to get your babies jabbed. That's up to you and your own personal judgment to decide. All I'm going to be providing you with today are the facts on the matter. Now, before I continue, please take a second, smash the like button for the video. It's a huge boost for the YouTube algorithm. It shows a lot of support for the channel. I totally appreciate those clicks. And if you're in need of your daily dose of the truth when it comes to global happenings, the state of our economy, Social Security, SSI, SSDI, the stock market, the housing market, and what's really going on in Washington, D.C. that affects our lives, our families, and our bank accounts, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And if you own a home, make sure your home is protected. Get your free home warranty quote, link in the description down below. Now, before we get a little bit deeper into this thing, let's go ahead and lay out the facts, right? So the C19 vaccines have only been rolled out due to emergency use authorization. Let's not forget that. So what exactly does that mean, right? Well, they still haven't finished the process of getting their jabs FDA approved. Don't believe me? Well, this article came out February of this year, and it says right here that Pfizer and BioNTech are applying for full FDA approval of their vaccine. And it also says here that, quote, the updated vaccine is currently available in the United States under emergency authorization as a single booster dose for people aged 5 years and above, and as the third dose in the 3-dose primary series for children 6 months through 4 years of age, end quote. All right, so let's just go ahead and fast forward to March, where the FDA just approved Pfizer's new bivalent booster to be provided to children who are younger than 5 years old, but only if they had the first 3 jabs. That's the 2 initial jabs and the third being the booster. That would make the 4th jab. Now, with that many jabs, when are we going to see some hooks? Now, to anybody who got that joke, let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, they're giving out this 4th dose through the United States FDA, amending the emergency use authorization, and it can also be provided to your kids that are younger than 5, even as early as 6 months old. So here's what Peter Marks, director of the FDA's Center for Biologics Evaluation and Research, said about it. Quote, today's authorization provides parents and caregivers of children 6 months through 4 years of age who received the 3-dose primary series with the monovalent Pfizer BioNTech C19 vaccine an opportunity to update their children's protection by receiving a booster dose with the Pfizer BioNTech C19 vaccine bivalent. Currently, the data available shows that vaccination remains the best defense against severe disease, hospitalization, and death caused by C19 across all age groups, and we encourage all individuals to make sure that their vaccinations are up to date with a bivalent C19 vaccine, end quote. If the threat of the virus is still flying about, then maybe cases, fatalities, and hospitalizations are also skyrocketing? Well, not exactly. Check this out. Well, would you look at that? They're all trending downwards. Now, again, not saying it's gone, but the data is showing a downward trend. So let's think of how these jabs were rolled out again. Oh yeah, through emergency use authorization, but with numbers like these, do they still consider us in an emergency? I mean, you also have to take into consideration the urgency. That is a key component for why we're told to take these vaccines, right? It's because we need to fight off the virus with small doses of different variants. These bivalent boosters were created after the FDA advised that they should at least include 2 variants within them, specifically to fight off Omicron BA4 and BA5. Now, remember those 2 as they're going to be very important later on. You guys know me, I scrounge the World Wide Web for information, and I usually frequent official websites from groups like I don't know, World Economic Forum and the World Health Organization for this kind of information. Now, for this one, I took a stroll down to the CDC's website and look what I found. Both the BA4 and BA5 variants represent almost none of the cases in our country. The BA5 barely even makes it on the board, and the BA4 is practically non-existent. So wait, we want to get our kids vaccinated with variants that aren't even an immediate threat? But you know what? I'm not going to go in here and pretend like I'm an expert, because I'm not. I just go by the data that's in front of me. Data, though, is also tricky, but here's something that you guys should know. The BA5 bivalent shots were only tested on 8 mice before humans began receiving it. But let's be fair. They did test these bivalent shots on 60 children. It says right here, quote, the FDA evaluated immune response data from 60 children in this age group who had completed primary vaccination with 3 doses of monovalent Pfizer-BioNTech C19 vaccine and received a booster dose of Pfizer-BioNTech C19 vaccine bivalent in a clinical study. 1 month after receiving the Pfizer-BioNTech C19 vaccine bivalent, the study participants demonstrated an immune response to both the original SARS-CoV-2 virus strain and to Omicron BA4 and BA.5, end quote. That should be great news, right? That should take away all of our worries. But wait, there's more. Maybe they're immune to the strain since these strains are so rare? Do I need to go back to the table where cases of these variants took up just a little bit more than 0.1% of data in the country's cases? I mean, think of it this way. I'm going to sell you an umbrella with holes in it, but I'm also telling you not to go out when it's raining. Catch my drift? So when it rains, I can tell you that you're dry because I sold you the umbrella. Does that make sense? And since I sold you the umbrella through an emergency, I'm not liable if anything happens to you in the rain. The same way these big pharma companies won't be held liable for any ill effects our kids might have. Now, speaking of ill effects, the jab may also be bad for our wallets. How bad? Well, Moderna, one of the pharma companies that have formulated their C19 vaccines, are expected to sell them at around $130 per dose in our country. Now, let me repeat that. That's $130 per dose. Now, I want to leave the last word with you guys. Do you think that these drugs are worth that much a jab? And are you willing to have these $130 vaccines provided to your babies? The comment section is wide open for any and all conversation regarding these topics, so feel free to sound off down there. Now, here's another thought, by the way. What else can you buy with $130? Well, obviously, you can invest in gold. Best way to invest in gold, there's a link in the description down below, but you could probably buy a few days worth of food or maybe a whole tray of eggs because those are kind of like gold nowadays. Now, all kidding aside, the cost of living is becoming much more difficult that thinking of this as an expense is sure to drag a lot of people down. And with housing, you got rent, you got car payments, even credit card bills on your minds. It's going to make it that much more difficult for some people to be able to afford it. But what if cash wasn't an issue? What if your financial troubles could be swept away? Have you heard of multiple streams of income diversification? Now, I'm pretty sure you have, but how about the path to get there? There's small businesses and side hustles. Those are great to begin with. And if you're looking to strengthen your cash flow, I would also suggest wise investments in real estate or even the stock market. Investments that are sure to open up even more opportunities for you and for your household. Now, if you want to learn more about these different methods, feel free to join us over in the Patreon community down below. It's right below the link for the best way to invest in gold. Now, the road to financial freedom, it's not easy, but it's also not impossible. Now, before I go, guys, please drop a thumbs up for the video and subscribe for your daily dose of the truth. I do appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you in the next one.